We're here today to discuss the homicide investigation from 3404 Greenview Drive in New Albany, Indiana, and the subsequent arrest of Maxwell Samorian in relation to that case. At approximately 3:50 p.m. on June 19th, officers of the New Albany Police Department were dispatched to 3404 Greenview Drive in New Albany. Upon their arrival, they discovered Sally Samorian, age 56, deceased at the scene. They also discovered her son, 23-year-old Maxwell Samorian, also on scene. Officers were quick to secure that scene and ensure that Maxwell was properly detained so that he could not leave prior to our investigation. After the investigation, the facts of the case were turned over to County Prosecutor Chris Lane, who's here with me today, and there was a warrant issued for the arrest of Maxwell. Maxwell has subsequently been arrested with relation to those charges. I would like to again echo the hard work of our criminal investigators who are here today. There's a lot of work that goes into these cases, and the city of New Albany is much safer because of their efforts. A couple of things I do want to note is cases like this are shocking to the community. We're very fortunate that we have very little violent crime in New Albany. In fact, this case is actually our first homicide of 2024. And we have noted a 15% decrease in violent crime as compared to the same time frame last year. This is all due to hard work of our staff, the men and women of the New Albany Police Department, and our partners in the criminal justice system here in Floyd County. At this point in time, I'd like to turn this over to County Prosecutor Chris Lane, who has some material information for this case.
Thank you, Chief Daly. Before I get started, I say this every time, these are mere allegations. The defendant is presumed innocent unless or until proven guilty in a court of law. I want to start by commending the investigation of the New Albany Police Department, specifically the detectives. And you never see this. They were up all night investigating this. Now, while you and our public is safe, as they should be, these men and women are working incredibly hard. And in every investigation, you have a window of opportunity, and they go aggressively to collect evidence. And I'm so proud of how they reacted to this, because they get in touch with us immediately, and we're able to coordinate well with the evidence so that we can match it to the possible crime. Also want to commend my Chief Deputy Prosecutor, Elizabeth Stigdon, as she was up all night coordinating to make sure that the information was correct and the charges could be filed if the evidence led to a charge. I'd like to start by saying that charges have been filed, murder. The defendant is currently, to our knowledge, being housed in Louisville, the Metro, and will be transferred over here at a date yet to be determined. When he'll be brought up, and at that time, read his rights, initial hearing will be held, and we'll request that he be held in bond, we anticipate. Chief went over pretty well the investigation itself. Probable cause was found. If you have any questions, I think this would be a good time for us to do that.
What was their relationship? Is it mother and son?
The information that we've gathered so far is yes, they were mother and son.
Was there a gun used? I know a lot of the neighbors had a lot of rumors going around, and it was kind of gruesome. But was there a gun involved? I know that might be something you can answer.
So I keep everything down to the probable cause. And the probable cause, there was no indication of a weapon being used. The allegation is that a knife was used.
How long have they both been in New Albany? Are they New Albany native? Are they both born here?
To our knowledge, they've been in the community for a significant amount of time.
Did the suspect try to flee or anything? Was there any kind of chase or?
So the probable cause affidavit delineates, and I'll kind of walk through it, and then I'll turn it over to Chief Bailey. But what's incredible about this is, like anything else, it's a normal afternoon. It's approximately 3:59, and this is delineated in the probable cause affidavit on June 19th. Officer gets what's called a typical welfare run. I know a neighbor may hear something, have concerns, maybe a family member, or in this case, in the allegations, a boyfriend is concerned something's wrong. So they contact dispatch. It's called dispatch 911. And then an officer is sent out there to investigate, to see what's going on. The officer gets out there and is able to determine on scene that there is a possible crime. And so the officers enter. Now, they don't know what they're walking into. That's what we forget often. They don't know what they're walking into. The allegations are, in this particular case, though, they walked into something horrible. And the allegations are that they did find the defendant in the garage at that time. Anything you want to add, Chief?
No, I think you said that pretty well. I don't think there's anything to add. He was on scene upon the officer's arrival.
I noticed in the original reporting from last Wednesday that he was taken to a hospital and wasn't charged right away. Would you, either of you, say that mental health was involved, like a concern with his mental health specifically?
No, there's no allegations, particularly in that. In every case, the charges can come at any moment, but what we attempt to do as prosecutors in this case, we allow the evidence to direct where we go. And so we wanted to make sure that the evidence directed where we went before we charge anyone. So there may be a lag sometimes, but as I discussed, we follow the evidence as best we can before we release probable cause or charges.
Was he injured? Was that why he went to the hospital?
So when officers arrived on scene, he had some superficial injuries, some of which were unrelated to the case in general.
So the defendant was found in the garage. Where was the victim found? Also in the garage?
According to the probable cause, and we always refer to that, it's alleged that she was found in the bedroom of the home. Any other questions? Remind you, these are mere allegations. The defendant is innocent until or unless proven guilty in a court of law. And again, I want to commend the men and women who worked this case, and my Chief Deputy Elizabeth Stigman for the hard work, and our Chief Investigator that they put into this case, as always, to keep our community safe. So Chief, anything you want to close on?
No, I just echo what you said here today. We've got a very dedicated staff of police officers here in New Albany, and you know, in today's world, sometimes they don't receive the recognition they deserve, but they work very hard to keep our community safe. And the 15% decrease in violent crime, I think, is indicative of the hard work they put in. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for coming on short notice. Thank you.
Appreciate you.